Can ASEAN create military alliance similar to NATO? An ASEAN NATO, if you will. NATO, or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance created on April 4th, 1949. It includes 31 countries from North America and Europe. The main purpose of NATO is collective defense, meaning if one member is attacked, all members respond together, as stated in Article 5 of the NATO Treaty. The idea of ASEAN creating its own version of NATO is interesting, but it's difficult. First, we will explain why it's not possible for ASEAN to form its own NATO. Then we will imagine what an ASEAN version of NATO could ideally look like. Why is it impossible for ASEAN to form a military alliance similar to NATO? Here are the reasons. 1. Diverse political systems. ASEAN comprises countries with very different political systems. Aligning these diverse interests into a unified military alliance would be challenging. Some countries like Indonesia and the Philippines have democratic governments with regular elections and multiple political parties. Others like Vietnam and Laos are single-party socialist republics where one party controls the government. Thailand has experienced periods of military rule, while Brunei is an absolute monarchy where the Sultan has significant control over the government. These diverse political systems make it difficult to align their policies and interests into a cohesive military alliance. 2. Non-interference principle. ASEAN operates on a principle of non-interference in the internal affairs of member states. A military alliance like NATO, which requires a high degree of coordination and potentially interventionist policies, as seen in Libya, Iraq, and elsewhere, might conflict with this principle. ASEAN was founded to promote regional stability and cooperation, primarily through economic, diplomatic means, not military alliances. 3. ASEAN countries have different views on security threats. For example, some countries like Vietnam and the Philippines are concerned about disputes over the South China Sea, but other members such as Singapore and Malaysia might not see this as a major issue. ASEAN countries have different levels of military strength and spending, making it challenging to combine them into a unified force. Additionally, many ASEAN nations have defense relationships with major powers like America, China, and Russia. Balancing these existing relationships into a new regional military alliance could be tricky. For example, Vietnam has military ties with both China and Russia, while the Philippines has alliances with countries that are against Russia and China. If ASEAN were to create its own version of NATO, here's what it might look like. The alliance could have a rotating leadership role among member countries to ensure fairness. Leading countries might include Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, and Malaysia, due to their military strength, strategic positions, and regional influence. The budget would be shared among members, with contributions based on each country's capacity. Are you in favor of forming ASEAN military alliance similar to NATO? What are the advantages and disadvantages of forming a military alliance?